Rabbi, I see you with the angry birds. What's up?
Well, Joe, I'm madder than hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. I was just reading some of the newest editorials from our politicians, some of their newest arguments about blame. They found someone to blame. And so I'm sure they're thrilled for their campaigns, only here we go again. They're blaming social media. They're blaming TikTok for the problems that we're having, for why young people are, quote, out of control and not being polite, and et cetera, et cetera. And Joe, I can remember when rock and roll was the problem. I can remember when they wanted to ban rock and roll because look at what's doing to the youth of America. Look at what's it doing to the youth all over the planet. We have to stop rock and roll. So every politician in the known universe jumped on the bandwagon to ban rock and roll. That was their solution.
But they didn't succeed. Now, in comic books, they actually had an institution created called the Comic Code of America, and that banned comic books for a while. But isn't it true that government has always made regulations? The FCC, for a long time, wouldn't let two people, even if they were married, appear in bed together. Ricky and Lucy had twin beds.
There is a difference between setting up a standard and banning something. A standard can be negotiated and can change over time, but banning never works. You're right. They tried to ban rock and roll. They even tried with the comics. It lasted for a while, but then it's back. We can buy comic books. The best example is prohibition. We banned alcohol. Where did that get us? Nowhere. It didn't work. So here we are trying to find something rather than looking at ourselves and saying, as Pogo said, I have met the enemy, and it is us. That's where the problem and solution lies.
Well, I did have a cartoon published in Time that pointed out that trying to ban the AR-15 increased its sales by over 700%. I think that was the actual number. So banning obviously just increases the desire. Oh, you're going to ban it, so I got to go out and buy a bunch of them right now. So isn't banning a good thing in some ways, at least for the marketplace?
It's great for the marketplace. And if you take the latest statements by politicians and take out the word social media or TikTok and put in the word video games. Here we go again. I can remember when every politician wanted to ban video games because they're destroying the minds of our youth, etc. And if you go back and take the older articles and take out video games or rock and roll or comic books and put in social media, it sounds identical. Can't we learn from our past, Joe? Haven't we learned, as you pointed out, that banning increases the behavior? It's the forbidden fruit psychology. Can't we begin to learn that if we see some social behaviors we don't like, we need to look at schools, at teachers, at parents. We need to look at ourselves. What is the role models we are setting? How do we behave on airplanes? Man, again, I read another article about unruly passengers. I think we should ban passengers on airplanes. That would solve the problem of unruly people on airplanes. No more people on airplanes, Joe, and there'll be no more unruly passengers. What do you think of that idea?
It'll work, but soon we'll have no more airplanes. I keep thinking of the YouTube video, which you can still access, of Dee Snider from Twisted Sister addressing Congress over the rock and roll controversy. And now I can't get out of my head the image of you with long orange-green hair and lipstick. We're going to have to try that sometime, Rabbi.
Maybe in a future. Well, for Purim, we'll wait for the holiday of Purim when we dress up in costumes and praise Mordecai and curse Haman. Maybe that'll be a time. But for now, we have to stop this blaming, and take a look, as Judaism teaches, we all have free will. God gave us choices. And it's up to us to study, to learn, to teach, but most important, to lead by example. And if we look at the way our politicians behave in the House of Representatives, if that's the model for the next generation, it's no wonder that they're out of control.